Hi everybody, Nathan Ronen, CFA, here with another update on the CFA program. This question deals with, hey Nathan, I know you're quite familiar with the CFA program at all three levels, level 1, level 2, level 3, but could you tell me, I'm a level 1 candidate, what should I really focus on the most so that I can not only pass the level 1 exam, but that I can get the charter? In other words, is there anything that's in the CFA 1 program that I really need to know and retain throughout the CFA program? Well, I think this is an excellent question, and I'm going to address it. But before I do, if you want to continue receiving these updates, please press the subscribe button now and the confirmation button so that you can continue to receive these updates as I post them every week or every 2 weeks. So again, to recap, Nathan, are there any topics in the level 1 program that I should really focus on very well? Not only to know it for the level 1 program in case they ask it on the exam, but that I need to retain it for level 2 and level 3. Well, first of all, I don't really like to game any of the exams and say this is definitely going to be on your exam. I mean, we could play that game, but reality is at level 1, level 2, and level 3, whatever is in the program is fair game. However it's presented, whether it's a paragraph in the books, 3 pages in the books, or a whole reading, it could be tested or it might not be tested. But in any case, I am going to give you my sort of top 5. How's that? Top 5 things that a level 1 candidate should focus on significantly and understand thoroughly at level 1 so that they can master it even better at level 2 as they expand on it, and then at level 3. Number 1, I would definitely make sure in the level 1 program that in the fixed income area, I really do understand duration and convexity. Not only what duration means or convexity means, which one is the first derivative, second derivative, the price yield curve, not just that kind of stuff, but really understand how to calculate the percentage change in the price of the bond using duration and convexity, understanding how to calculate the percentage change in the price of the portfolio, using duration and convexity. I'd really make sure to understand duration and convexity very solid, because once you learn that stuff at level 1, it continues at level 2, and you have to know it a little bit more in depth there, and how to apply it to portfolios and yield curve risk and structural risk. And then you also need to know it at level 3, okay? Because at level 3, you are still going to be required to understand whether to buy or sell convexity. And if you don't really understand the concepts of duration and convexity as they apply to option-free bonds or bonds with embedded options like puttable and callable bonds, it's going to be very hard for you then to master the concept of whether you want to buy or sell convexity in the portfolio in level 3. So therefore, number 1, duration and convexity. The second one that I would definitely really understand are some of the performance evaluation concepts that are brought through the level 1 program. Now, you're not going to see them called performance evaluation as they're called, let's say, in level 3 and also in level 2. But when I'm talking about performance evaluation, I'm talking about different measurement tools that can be used to evaluate the performance of a portfolio. In level 1, obviously, you definitely want to know what the Sharpe ratio is. You want to know what the Traynor measure is if it's discussed, or the information ratio, or the Jensen's alpha, as some call it, of above average excess returns, the Sortino ratio. Any kinds of measures of performance evaluation or portfolio performance are very important to understand at level 1, because then you're going to need to use them again at level 2. They're discussed in the portfolio management section. And then at level 3, you are going to even need to discuss them further, sometimes even in essays, as which one would be the appropriate measure of risk-adjusted performance for the portfolio and why. Could be in an item set or in an essay. So you definitely need to know these performance evaluation techniques. And at level 3, they're also going to apply this to attribution analysis and break down the portfolio's performance even further. So definitely know these measures of performance evaluation. The third one that I would know in my top 5 is make sure at level 1 that you're very solid with the dividend discount model. Now, the dividend discount model, the constant growth or the multi-stage growth, isn't really that hard, but you do need to understand it, be able to manipulate the formula, be able to solve for the required rate of return or the growth rate or the dividend or the price. But then you also want to understand it for level 2, because at level 2 they will expand on the dividend discount model, and then they will adjust the dividend discount model to come up with some of the price multiples that you have, like price to earnings, price to book, price to sales, price to cash flow. And you also need to know the dividend discount models, how they apply constant growth, two-stage growth, the H model, things like that, and how to value a company's stock using the dividend discount model. And then at level 3, they don't really go over the constant growth or the two-stage model again, but then they sort of expand on the dividend discount model by making sure you understand and can apply the Greinold-Kroner model. So definitely you could see that the dividend discount model is something that permeates all 3 levels. The fourth one that I would highly recommend is the standards of professional conduct in the ethics material. Now, I don't think this really needs a lot of elaboration here, but you better know those 7 different standards and their little subsets in level 1, level 2, and level 3. Those are going to be multiple choice questions at level 1 and item sets at level 2 and level 3. But you definitely need to know the standards of professional conduct along with the code of ethics at all 3 levels, and it's an important part of the CFA program to get your charter. So definitely do not neglect the standards of professional conduct. And then the last one, number 5, would be anything dealing with currency exchange rates. Now, you have readings in the level 1 program, both in the preliminary readings and in the current curriculum for 2024 and beyond on currency exchange rates. There's a reading in the level 2 program on the currency exchange rates. And in level 3, you also have currency management in that program, which all relies on understanding exchange rates, forward points, understanding which currency you're buying or selling, whether you're going to short it or long it, understanding, what's in the which one is the domestic currency, the foreign currency, how to buy or sell futures contracts on it, how to use swaps on currencies. You need to know currencies inside and out, and you even need to know it in areas of multinational operations at level 2. So currency exchange rates, they start out in level 1, and then they build on it in level 2, both in the economics section, a reading on currency exchange rates, and in the financial statement analysis with a reading called multinational operations. And then at level 3, you have a whole section in the derivatives on currency management, learning how to manage the risk in your portfolio utilizing currencies and either forward or futures contracts on those currencies, or options on currencies, or even swaps using currencies to manage the risk in your portfolio. So those are the 5 top topics, not the only ones you need to know, but the ones that really permeate my mind, and I say to candidates, you gotta know. And that's why I always recommend people to obviously use the core curriculum that the CFA Institute gives you and the candidate resources as a base to prepare for the exam, and then work with a seasoned instructor like myself, who has 27 plus years of experience preparing candidates for the CFA exam at levels 1, 2, and 3, is a charter holder, took all 3 exams and passed, but really understands the process and has a structure in place to help you pass. You could check out my website at chalkandboard.org. I highly recommend you do that. That's CHALK and AND board, BOARD.org, chalkandboard.org, and you can actually see my teaching approach where I do hypothesis testing at level 1, free cash flows at level 2, or the carry trade at level 3. Okay, so I highly recommend that you decide to work with me to help pass your CFA exam, and you will see unveiled to you all the things that I feel are very important for you to know, prepare, understand, and not memorize to pass each of your exams. Okay. Thank you very much for listening, and if you have any questions, reach out to me on my website. My phone number is there as well, and you can always text me on WhatsApp or regular SMS. Have a great evening, a great morning, or a great afternoon wherever you are, and thank you for listening.